Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Welcome back to another professional StarCraft 2 game. Today we have in the bottom left spawning as the red Zerg player, none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself. Of course going to be Serral playing in the red trunks. In the top right spawning as the blue Terran player, it's going to be none other than our good friend Spirit, playing for Team Kaisi Gaming, the Chinese team. And in classic Spirit fashion, we see two SCVs make their way across the map before the 30-second mark has passed. And that can only mean two things. Either he's going to play a 2-Rex proxy or a 3-Rex proxy. And as this SCV goes back to mining, we now know our answer to that question. It's going to be a 2-Rex proxy. Serral, knowing his opponent a little bit, is opening up with a gas first here and a pool first. And is also immediately going to be scouting the first location where these barracks are actually being constructed right at this moment. Serral's going to spot it, and we're actually going to be going into first-person view to see what his response is going to be here. So he spots it right now on the minimap, he sees it, he wants to know whether it's 2 or 3 barracks most likely, and he sees 2. He's just going to throw down a hatchery, not going to pull any drones whatsoever, doesn't really care about trying to kill it. No, instead he decides, I'm just gonna not build any more works. Look at this. He's actually just saving up these larvae right now. He's gonna get 6 links immediately the moment this spool finishes up. And sends 1 drone down to start working on a bunker. Spirit starts this first bunker pretty far away and kind of wants to go in a leapfrogging motion, realizing that he has been scouted, has been found out, and hasn't seen any drones being pulled yet. He probably is aware of the fact that this is going to be a pull first. Now we have a first bunker that is very far away, but this is actually going to semi-work out here. Second bunker is being built very far forward. But I think that this bunker is going to finish. And if this Marine stays alive and gets in the bunker, that's a pretty big deal. These Marines need to start moving back to their barracks right now. But the micro so far is good. Took out 1 of these links. Oh, the follow-up micro isn't brilliant though. And now the question is, what is this follow-up going to be? There's a single Marine in this bunker. This Marine is going to get taken out as well. And we have 2 more Marines trying to make their way over to this bunker. We might actually... I don't think we're going to see a cancel here on the side of Serral, but this situation is a little more chaotic than I think he bargained for initially. This bunker is up. I mean, it's not really threatening anything though, is it? Factory is going to be thrown down as well right now. It's a little bit late, and it might even get cancelled here. I think you can get 4 links of surface area on this if you push them in a little bit. Like you right click this link and then you push it in. Sometimes you can push something in. Maybe just 3 is the max. I'm not entirely sure. Haven't played enough ZVT for that quite yet. This factory might just stay alive though, as these Marines are walking back. Speed is finishing up in a couple of seconds. That means that all of these Marines are going to get taken out. Worker count for Serral is very low. We see these Marines are going to go down right now. So we have an SCV and a Marine trying to head home. There's going to be a lot of repairing happening here in the next minute or so. This first Hellion needs to get out. More SCVs are being pulled as well. Can we get a repair? Yep, we get the repair. Bunker going up. So perhaps afraid of a follow-up with roaches. It's not quite in the plans here for Serral. Serral just built a bunch of links. And once this first Hellion finally finishes, this party is going to end for the Zerglings, at least temporarily. There's a lot of Zerglings that he built here. I think maybe even a little too much. He should have known that he wasn't going to be capable of breaking this. I think there could have been 10 extra, well not 10, but could have definitely been 6 extra drones here. CC is going to finish up here for Spirit, and we have, well actually we have a game on our hands because there's so many links on the map right now. The worker count for Serral isn't huge. Third base wasn't insanely quick either. Queen count is only on 2. And it's a given here that the starport is late. There's no reactor yet on this factory either. So this is not the dream scenario for Spirit. Like he doesn't, you know, when he goes to bed, he doesn't hope that he dreams about this type of stuff. But it's also not the worst thing. I mean, if you get spotted and you're playing against the pool first, you end up with a situation like this. Yeah, you can be pretty glad that it ended up going like this, I think. It's not too bad. I like that he's hiding these 2 units. Doesn't really want to give them up for free. Good control on these Hellions as well. And is going to start taking his own natural right now. 29 workers against 38. We have a 3rd command center on the way as well here. for our good friend Spirit, as this Overlord is going to end up spotting that. I think this Overlord is already going to do some major work here in checking out what's going on. A 2-1-1 type of follow-up is pretty common because you already have the 2 barracks. But it's also not completely uncommon to do something like a Hellion drop here. Seems more like a 2-1-1 setup though than anything else. Serral's going to keep pushing his creep. He's going to continue trying to get further ahead, as he definitely is ahead. 30C is going to finish up. The first 2 medevacs will start shortly as well. Kind of like this follow-up here out of Spirit. It's going to walk into a small supply block, but that's going to be fixed soon. 4 Hellions in the front, not quite on the other side of the map. I don't think they'll ever go to the other side of the map. Spirit seems very afraid of whatever it is that Serral can throw at him. Serral's going to end up spotting this command center, know exactly what's going on. Immediately see 8 more links on the way. He still, of course, has a lot of links from the early game. Sorry, 8 more drones on the way. Still has a lot of links from the early game, so it doesn't necessarily need to build a crap ton of those. I think I saw a Baneling Nest go down at some point as well. Yep, here we have it. So I think Serral is actually kind of set for at least the first 2 medevacs. I don't think that should be too much of an issue. Medevac 2 and 3, or sorry, Medevac 3 and 4, however, could be harder to deal with. But there's not even 60 Marines in this. Hellions could complicate things a little bit. I don't know. I am just a huge fan of the position that Serral is currently in. Double evil on the way, 61 workers, 4th base, more links being produced. Although perhaps not even quite necessary, as there is 7 queens, there is a bunch of Baneling, and there was already 23 links. I don't mind it either. Just playing it safe, doesn't want to give up his lead, says, hey, I can afford this right now and still be pretty far ahead. Why would I not do this? It's just a way to be slightly safer. 18 more links on the way. We see Baneling speed being researched before any of the upgrades. I also do like that. Again, just playing it a little bit safe. Spirit getting a decent amount done though for how ready Serral really was. Feels like he took a lot of damage. Lost the queen there. The other end he also had a little Ling run by, taking out 5 SCVs. And 5 SCVs doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you only have 50 SCVs, that's about 10% of your workforce, and it's a big deal. It's what, 200 minerals or so, 250 minerals that you won't be mining in the next minute. On top of it, of course, having to rebuild these SCVs. So there's really going to be like a 500-600 mineral disadvantage that Sol just got put at, and it's not something that you would generally like. 1-1 is on the way here for the Polish Terran player. So we have 14 Banes. Worker count remaining surprisingly low here for Serral. I really thought... Oh, no, actually, it just went up to 77. I must have missed that. Yeah, okay, these are just fresh drones. Cool. Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm surprised if he stays at like 65, 64. This was more like a type of game where you go up to 70, 80 drones, and you can still probably do some type of Hydra Bane timing. One of these queens might just fall. I don't think there's concussive shell yet in this army. There definitely isn't. Medevac is gonna pick up and go back home. Serral is just at a pretty large lead over here. He's gonna be free to do whatever he pleases. And in this case, that's going to be Hydra Bane. No quick tech into lurkers. Surprising, maybe, but... Ooh. Okay, we're gonna see Baneling Burrow. Perhaps he just wants to finish the game a little bit earlier. He has a bunch of money floating right now. You could say bad macro, but he's probably just waiting to see what he wants to spend that money on. Does he want to throw it into more Banelings or into a couple of extra Hydras? Maybe he even wants to be teching up. Here comes the Infestation Pit, so he's not entirely sure what he wants to be doing. Usually with these Infestation Pits you see, oh, not the greatest micro, lose a bunch of links there. You have one more mine in the back as well. +1 armor is gonna get cancelled. It's lucky for Spirit here that the +1 armor is the one that dies. I mean, armor upgrades are nice, but they're not as essential as these infantry weapons upgrades. We have another Baneling run by coming in. It's just gonna walk straight into a mine. Get 2 of these depots, but that just rebuild immediately. So once again, not the biggest deal. Spirit doing a good job here, staying alive, making sure that He doesn't get any major damage here. I've seen Terrans sometimes just crumble a little bit. Their early game is bad against Serral, but Spirit says no, I actually feel pretty comfortable here in those longer games, so I do want to still drag it there. There's a triple mind drop on the way as well. This is with drilling claws and potentially could actually do some damage. At the same time, he wants to be pushing out to get some type of distraction going, but also needs to be afraid to not get counterattacked and just lose a base or lose a base worth of SCVs. This is a good initial creep deny. Now needs to start being very careful. There's a lot of Marines here. There's about 3 mines. Decent pre-splits as well, but still needs to be so darn careful. Where's that mine drop? It is heading in right now. Let's take a look at Serral's first person. Is not quite responding to that drop whatsoever. Is going to end up losing 10 workers. And allows Spirit to also grab these mines back into the medevac. Now sadly for Spirit, he's not paying attention. He's going to end up losing the medevac anyway. But 10 workers is 10 workers. It's not nothing. Especially because it was only 3 mines as well. Same time, Spirit is pushing forward, trying to deny more creep. Not a single mine with this army means it's going to most likely get pushed back. Mines are being burrowed in the back here, and decent mine hits. We still have this army on the left side, trying to go for this planetary, if it actually morphs into a planetary. Not having this morphed into a planetary right now is a blessing in disguise, by the way, so we can still lift it when these banelings start moving in. The big heading towards the far right side. Serral is going to be aware of that pretty quick. Look at that. He has links burrowed across the map as like semi-spotters. That's pretty cool. That actually is pretty cool. He's gonna lose a link to that mine. Now starts dropping on the far right side. Does Spirit already know this base? No, he doesn't. He's gonna figure it out soon enough though. One mine's gonna end up burrowing here. Oh, good control once again out of Serral. It's so silly how good he is at this. So ridiculous. Spirit's gonna move towards the bottom right side corner, and as there's... Oh no, there actually is Vipers. So then there's a timer on these units right now. Spirit, of course, not quite aware of that. Can't blame the guy. It's been a hectic game. Oh, good on burrow there by Spirit as well. So that mine is still gonna be active in case that run by is going to hit at some point. What do you have here? We have another triple mine drop. Take a look at that first person out of Serral. Oh, actually loses a bunch of links and... Well, took out all of these mines without losing anything. That was noteworthy. It's good map vision as well. It's now going to get scanned on some of his creep. Loses 2 queens. It's not a great. It actually needs to start rebuilding some queens. Only has 6 queens left. Ends up taking an okay trade though. Taking out a bunch of these marines. But yeah, the Spirit is stabilizing. But I'm not quite sure if stabilizing against Serral is something you want. Because it means that Serral also is stable, and if Serral is stable, he's insanely strong. He's ridiculously strong. Oh, big hit though. That was a huge mine hit. Actually a huge mine hit. It's going to be a smaller mine hit. Only gets a single ling here. So you have 2 overseers heading towards the main base, and they're probably looking for a Nidus. We have a drop heading towards the far right. It's going to get absolutely blasted by these banelings. Spirit, not paying attention whatsoever, is going to get destroyed. I think we have a double Nidus network here. Could be heading up into the main base. We have 1 Marine in position and nothing else. Curious to see if that's going to be something that Serral wants to be using, as he's rallying 10 lurkers straight into that Nidus. So I guess the answer there is going to be yes. So now we're going to see Seismic Spines finish up. Do we have Adaptive Talents yet? No, we don't, I think. No, we don't. And here come the Nidus networks. That's 1. And that is going to be 2 in the natural, I guess. Take a look at how Spirit responds to this.
Mineral field add-on complete.
Gonna send a bunch of units over. Needs to make sure that he doesn't die though at the front at the same time as well. He's really quite quick at that. It's a nice job. Job well done for sure. He's gonna end up killing this Nidus. Oh, at the same time Serral attacking at the front. A lot of money in the bank here for Spirit. Also hopefully a couple of scans still available, and the Liberators are going to deal with this very swiftly. That's nice. A 3rd Nidus goes up, but once again gets shut down by these Libs already. Usually I watch videos of Libs getting dunked on, but this time around I see that these Libs are actually doing a fairly decent job at making sure that the Terran isn't getting dunked on. Nidus going down in the main base here. As we have 2 ghosts coming out. Are these the first 2 ghosts? I think so, right? Now we have 4 ghosts out right now. Continuous Nidus networks are expensive, but they are also expensive mental resource-wise. Of course, this is difficult for Sol to deal with while he's being surrounded by Niduses around the map. We see these rotations coming out of Serral, and there's still this big army as on the front, which is a kind of a looming threat here. 5 base still hasn't been secured because this stupid Ling is actually making life pretty difficult for Spirit. The main base is being infested right now by these lurkers, by more Niduses going down. And we see Serral looking for an angle, is not quite going to end up finding it here. Another lurker gets the burrow in. You see these liberators are just moving from Nidus to Nidus. Wouldn't be surprised if you see another Nidus somewhere in the natural popping up soon. Actually, Serral's just killing him with these Niduses. Unit lost is in favor of Spirit, but there's a huge army waiting outside. I'm surprised that Serral doesn't try to push into one of them bases at some point. Because there's a bunch of liberators. Good freaking EMP. That was ridiculously nice. Serral's gonna get pushed back here. So the Lips actually do a decent amount of damage. There's a bunch of ghosts in the back as well. This is the final Nidus finally getting cleaned up. Please, Spirit, respond in time this time around. Because if this one goes up again, you're gonna struggle with it. Tries to stim in. Gets a couple of ghosts there as well. I think this Nidus might just barely fall before it goes up. No, it's actually gonna go up. A couple of links coming out as well. Target fire on the Nidus is good enough though. Second Nidus also goes down. We have another Nidus in the back, man. Absolutely unrelenting Nidus aggression. Where are we at? How many? 9 Nidus networks, or 9 Nidus worms have gone down. Another Nidus worm getting up here, but that should not be good, I think. Yeah, I mean, just gonna cost him some links. Another Nidus. He just keeps spamming these. Almost feels like Serral is trolling. It really does feel like Serral is trolling at this point. It's like, alright, I'm so far ahead, I'm just gonna gift you a couple more Niduses. Spirit is so afraid though of these, and for a good reason. I mean, lurkers in your main base are a very scary thought. At the same time, a couple of tanks here, a bunch of liberators. Spirit is being careful. Gonna lose a couple of tanks at least, and probably ends up losing this planetary as well. There was a lot of mules there, netting about 4k mineral income per minute. Does really need to start using these mules on the other base if he wants to get that income. I don't think idling them is the correct call. Do you still have anything in the main? Oh my god, just leave a single marauder in your main, for the love of god, my friend. They're continuously struggling with like these Nidus networks going down. That is not how it's supposed to be. Now we have a response coming out of Spirit here. The Nidus network is done. Just finished up. Let's take a look at what this Lip is going to be capable of doing. A single lurker here would have been useful already, but I guess Serral doesn't really want to waste any money no more. As in total, we have 14 Nidus worms that have gone down already. Unit lost heavily in favor of Spirit. And let's not forget that on this map it can be difficult to take one of your opponent's bases. If you're Serral, you either take this base or this base, I guess, but neither of them are very tasty. Not easy to kill whatsoever. Spirit F2s to the front as he's getting attacked there, not quite realizing that there's once again a Nidus in his main base. A couple of Liberators are gonna get taken out here, good abducts, and for a second time this planetary is going to fall. Nidus in the main base finishes up, Spirit stims quickly back towards it. And we have another 3 links being burrowed over here. Serral truly trolling his opponent at this point. Serral pulling ahead in supplies. I'm not quite sure what died there, but it looked like a medevac. I think I saw a nuke being researched here somewhere. Where do nukes show up? Oh, that's a unit. Where are you? Okay, you're in here. I want to see it when you come out. Please. Please, start the nuke. How many ghosts is there? There's 5 ghosts. Okay, this guy's gonna do it. That's obvious. There's a double Nidus in the main base. This Liberator could potentially be doing something. Take a look at this nuking man. Sometimes they hide their gun. I think it's when they push the hold fire button. Nidus in the main base gets cleaned up. Oh, here goes the nuke. Same time, huge fight at the front. We have a couple of ghosts trying to snipe. Planetary is gonna survive for now. What did the nuke do? What did the nuke do? The nuke is landing, but the ghost dies before the mushroom cloud truly hits. This Nidus network is gonna get taken out, and now we see Serral trying to expand forward. I feel like he's He's kind of been joking around for a bit too long at this point. Artificially keeping his opponent alive. And now he's actually getting into a territory where there is a real possibility here that if Spirit survives, that he's going to be fine. His army, the army value I guess isn't very good here. It's just mainly bio, huh? Not a whole lot of ghosts, there's only 2 liberators. Mines are useful. To be fair, there's also no lurkers on this side, so mines are going to be extremely useful. Good fight so far for Spirit. Big mine hit are going to be important. Oh my god, there's so many banelings in this. There's actually so many banelings. That was a ridiculous fight. Unit lost-wise, not even that bad here for Serral. I actually think that was just a good fight. Well, a ridiculous fight, though. I wonder how many Banes that was. How many Banes have gone down already? 82. I think all of those were in the last fight. Now we have the lurker transition. Serral also realizing, hey, wait a second, this guy isn't actually building ghosts or lips. And that means that I can probably do something. Do we have the Liberator range upgrade? Yep. Advanced ballistics is there. This base is being mined, which is a huge deal. Absolutely a huge deal. I love that Spirit either realized it or he just knows that it's most likely going to be there. Needs to send a drop out there ASAP. Super important. Absolutely. The most important thing that he can probably do this game. Now, with these lurkers out again, perhaps the Niduses are going to return as well. We have 6 more ghosts on the way. We have 2 ghosts out already. It means we're going to go up to 8 or so. Hello, can we get a drop, please? There we go, Spirit. Very nice indeed. It's going to deny some mining over here. Wouldn't even mind if he starts focusing on this hatchery. Same time, we have a big fight in the middle. Liberators doing their damage. Ghosts are now coming in. We'll be able to snipe some of these lurkers. Oh my god, look at these parasitic bombs. Look at all these Liberators just dying. Good splits here out of Spirit. Is going to be capable of saving majority of his Liberators. This drop gets to stay alive as well. Took out 3 drones and denied a bunch of mining. There's a lot of money in the bank here for Spirit. He can get a better army, and he's getting a better army. There's now 11, 12 ghosts. Liberator mine. I really like this setup here for Spirit. Sure, these lurkers are dealing some damage here, but this base is gonna go down. These mines are a little bit too close to one another. But generally, I kind of like this army. 120 army supply as well here for Spirit. It's kind of a big deal. It's up 6k once again. Gonna get some good fights here. Needs to be careful with these Liberators. Wouldn't even mind if he starts repairing them if he can find the time. Of course, this is such a tense game here with Lurker harass, Ling harass. I don't think he lifted this base. Oh, that's very poor. That's very, very poor. These ghosts are gonna stay alive for now. Mine not going to get the connection that it wants. Still the Lurkers here also taking out this base. Did that get lifted? I don't think so either. So Spirit actually is losing base after base. At the same time, this Lip will be capable of taking out this Lurker. And we're back to a mainly Hydra Bane composition here. 22 Banelings. 6 Lurkers. We even have a single Corruptor here. And the rest is all Vipers. Let's take a look at what our good friend Serral exactly has in store for this game. And for now, it seems like he just wants to blow up this base. And it's a good call because this is the biggest mining base right now here for Spirit. There's still a lot of money in the bank for Serral. And even though he's down 5k, which isn't all that much, by the way. This is not like he's been taking awful trade. He just hasn't been taking efficient trades. But they're fine for Zerg because he's so far up in eco. I think the plan here for Spirit is to max out with an insanely powerful army on 200 supply and take a couple of really good fights. Well, not really trying to lose his eco, obviously. I want to know what our orbital count is. 8 orbitals. Okay, so losing workers isn't the end of the world. Big mine hits potentially. Good parabombs as well, once again out of Serral. He's very good with those today. Ghosts are putting in the work though. Oh my god. A lot of these Banes are getting sniped actually. These fights. Serral really needs to be careful in these fights. He needs to do them because he needs to lower the supply of his opponent and consistently be trading. Like, look at this. Serral's going to be maxed out and he's still down like 30, 40 army supply because he's down freaking 50 workers or so. 45 workers actually. So he needs to consistently be trading. If Spirit ever maxes out, these fights are going to be very one-sided. Beautiful drop here out of Spirit as well. He's going to be capable of taking out this base if he decides to stim. Doesn't decide to stim. Liberator will still be capable of taking out a couple of drones. We're not going to see any micro on this Lip. This Lip is also going to try for a couple of drones. Oi, 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 oi. 181 supply right now here for the Polish Terran player. Finds a position. Oh my god, look at that. Look at this position. That's an absolute meat grinder there. Had a sign that said do not go here, and these Zerglings were a little bit rowdy. They went in and they all died. Oh my god, big attack here. Lots of Banelings, 37 Banelings moving forward. Parasitic bombs once again hitting all of these Liberators. Base gets taken out for an umpteenth time. Not enough mines here either to really zone out these Banes. Now these Banes are going to try to connect with anything they can find, but the splits are really good out of Spirit. Who's just trading efficiently at this point. That's not really what you want with a Terran army. You want to be trading super efficient, and he hasn't really been doing that whatsoever. We still have a large amount of orbitals, 8 still, which is big, because it means that even if he's losing SCVs, he could be fine. He potentially could be fine, but he just needs to start taking better fights. He's not been taking good fights. He now loses 2 Liberators for free into a Spore, which is also not considered a very good trade. Spore is only minerals, Liberators are actual units. Mines are pushing forward. I'm not quite sure if this army is big enough though. 131 supply. Mines are well spread out. Do we get a... Oh my god, he forgot the micro for half a second there. Loses all of his Marines. Marauders all clumped up are also going to be taken out. I think that there is no real... Oh, actually has 4k income. Holy crap. Oh, but there's no planetary here. These mules are going to get taken out. The SCVs are going to get destroyed as well. Still a bunch of mules going over here. And Spirit actually is pushing forward. It's going to be taking out... a lot of bases here. The problem is just that the bank is a little bit too large at this point. The unit lost is still semi-favorable here for Spirit. The army supply is still equal somehow, some way. But there's no gas income left because he has almost no workers mining gas. Also hasn't really mined anything from here in a while. So we see majority is going to be Marines. A couple of lurkers here would do wonders, but so would Banes, I guess. We do have more Banes on the way. 17 Banes to be exact. 16 Banes already on the map. Vipers once again joining the fight as well. And here come the parasitic bombs on top of those medevacs. I can only imagine. No, we haven't hit a single one yet. Oh no, there is one. There's one. Oh, good splits out of our good friend Spirit right now. He's going to continue pushing forward. The larva count is at 12, which means that Serral can reproduce at any time he wants to. It also means that Spirit needs to, well, take one hell of a fight in the next 20-30 seconds or so, and that fight should be now. He needs to deny this base. He needs to win this fight and deny this base. But without mines really in the fight, it's going to be so hard. Banelings moving forward, parasitic bomb is being cast, and Sol needs to run. Pushed away here. And with the medevac count being low, with no gas whatsoever to rebuild that, I think this bio army is kind of doomed at this point. There's still 9k resources in the bank for Serral. Serral, who felt at times was almost trolling his opponent, now is going to switch into 15 lurkers, I believe this is. Yep, 15 lurkers. Of course, also still has that Greater Spire. Could switch into brutes at any time, but it's not going to be necessary. 4 medevacs being produced here for Spirit, but I don't think that's going to be enough either. Here come the lurkers, and here goes Spirit's life. EMP hits a lot of these Vipers. We have a huge... Yeah, he's actually trolling at this point. Look at this. Ta-da! Unburrows the Banelings. GG. And an Unleashed Serral takes out Spirit here on Hardwire. That's going to be it for me today. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you all next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.